What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing well today. Yes, I am in Dallas, and what you see behind me is snow. It snowed once again here in Texas, something we're not used to, but something we try and have a little fun with for a couple days. Once those couple days are up, we are definitely sick and tired of it. Luckily, this snowstorm only lasted a day and a half, so not too bad at all. As you can see, actually the ice is melting pretty good, so the snow is not going to probably last through tomorrow. Now, one of the recent videos that I did went over paying a location owner, over $4,000 in profit sharing. And somebody had emailed me about that, kind of really scared, saying, how is he supposed to make any profits, or how is there even any profits to be made when we're paying thousands of dollars for the location just for our ATM to sit there? And I thought about it for a minute, and I said, yeah, that kind of makes sense if you don't understand the full aspect of profit sharing. So I want to go over just kind of what profit sharing is and how it's not as scary as you may think, and it's just another expense that unfortunately does go with running a business. With the ATM business, there's actually not a lot of expenses. Profit sharing generally is one of them. Now, what is profit sharing, you might ask? Well, it's kind of self-explanatory in the name. Profit sharing, you're sharing the profits. And you're probably wondering, why the heck would we want to do that? Why would we want to share the profits? Well, it's just something that you have to kind of do with business. Now, with the ATM business, there's actually not a ton of expenses, but in normal businesses, you are going to have a lot, and those expenses do add up. Now, some common expenses for businesses are, labor, taxes, you need the product and inventory filled, and those expenses can add up a lot. Luckily, with the ATM business, we are really limited on the type of expenses that we have. There aren't a ton, but one of them is profit sharing. Now, with profit sharing, you kind of have to think of it as a I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of deal. With the location owner, they're obviously in business to make some money, and in doing so, they want us to pay a little bit for allowing us to put the ATM there. Now, they're not really providing much except the actual location for that ATM. 3 feet by 3 feet space is a good rule of thumb, as well as the power to run that ATM. Now, you can kind of think of it as there's a lot of taco shops around here in Texas. Archie, well, let me let my dog in real quick. You got him? Thank you. So now here in Texas, we got a lot of taco shops. And a lot of these taco shops are in gas station type locations. And the taco shops rent out the space in that, either the supermarket or the gas station. They rent out that location or the space in order to operate the taco business there. Now, it's going to be the same thing like a hairdresser. You can rent a seat at the salon to where you can cut people's hair and you just pay rent. That's essentially what we're doing as ATM providers, is we're renting out that space to put an ATM. Now, it's actually really cold out here. I think my dog just went inside, so he is done for a little bit. Let's go back inside. Ooh, it was a little cold out there. Now it warmed up a little bit. Time to continue on. So now, with profit sharing, you're probably wondering why we do profit share. Now, with the location owner and the ATM owner, it is actually a mutually beneficial relationship. It obviously gives us, the ATM owners, profit because people are using the ATM machines, but it also allows the location to make more money. Now, let's say, for example, a laundromat. We have several of them, and they're actually beneficial for the location to have us there. Now, with the laundromat, guests or customers are going to want to use the laundromat to wash clothes, and these washers are ran by coin-operated mechanisms. They take coins and are coin-operated, and in order to run the laundry, you need money. And with us being there and providing the cash for those customers. It allows them to take money out of our ATMs and then put that money into the location. Sometimes with the locations not having ATMs, the customer may have to leave the building. Now, if they do that, they may never come back and use the laundromat. Now, another example is with convenience stores or gas stations. They're going to take that money out of our ATM and they're going to put that money back into the business. If they're at a gas station, they may throw, 20 on pump 3, a couple lotto tickets, maybe a couple 40s of some Four Locos, and then they're off. And the location owner is able to profit off of them taking money out of our ATM and then putting that money back into the business. So a good way to actually get a location is to sell that aspect as well. The location is going to make more money with us being there. How much profit sharing should you provide to that owner? There's a lot of things to take into consideration to find out how much you're going to pay that location. It can depend on just the location itself. If it's a strip club, they're probably going to want at least half of that surcharge. So it's something to think about. For laundromats, I try and keep it, $1, $1.25 if I can. You're going to pay less to the business owner if it's a lower producing location, which is something to think about when offering to place that ATM. Is that location going to be filling the ATM for you? Are they paying for the wireless router, or are you piggybacking off of their Ethernet? Now, another thing to think about is how busy is the location? You don't want to offer them 50% of your surcharge. If it's going to be a dead store, you're not going to be making enough money to profit yourself. And some locations actually are okay with taking nothing because the ATMs are a benefit to that location. Some locations don't want anything. They just want to make sure that that ATM is working fine all the time and has money. How often do you have to pay this surcharge? Now, this is all up to you. You can pay monthly, quarterly, yearly. You could even pay daily if you wanted. It just all depends on the agreement that you and the location owner have. Now, for my locations, I try and keep them quarterly. It allows me time to calculate how much I will be paying, but not like I'm calculating every week or every couple weeks. It's every 3 months I'm able to calculate it all, and it allows me to keep track a little bit more easily. And honestly, it allows me to have a little bit more of the liquid cash on hand in case I need it. It gives me a little bit of a buffer time to pay that location. Now, to figure out how much to pay is I'll calculate or pull up the website that I use for the processing. I'll pull one of the reports for the quarterly transactions, and then I'll plug those numbers into a spreadsheet that I have made to calculate how much goes to that location. It keeps everything upfront and honest when I'm showing that location owner how many transactions they did have during that 3-month period. Now, how to pay is also a question. There are a ton of ways to pay those locations their portion of the surcharge, whether it be Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, check. It could even be bank transfer, ACH. It just all depends, once again, on that agreement that you have with that location owner. Now, you could pay cash. Since we are in the cash business, we usually will have 20s or 10s on us a lot of the time, but I definitely do not like paying in cash because it doesn't allow me to account for it. There's no real paper trail. There's no real paper trail of me paying that location. Now, like I mentioned before, if you wanted to pay daily, you totally can. And that process is actually pretty streamlined to where you don't even have to worry about it. You would tell your processor how much of the split is going to go to the location, and you would just send the banking info over to the processor, and he would automatically deposit the funds into the location owner's bank. It's all automatic, and it's pretty darn quick. But once again, you don't have that liquid cash there for me to use in a pinch if you need it. Now, for us, we tend to pay with a check. It allows us to keep track, just have a little bit of a paper trail, and it honestly allows me to communicate with that location a little bit better, and it's a little bit more of a personal touch, in my opinion. What we'll do is we'll pull that spreadsheet that I talked about creating, where it'll explain how much or how many transactions we did receive during that time frame, or what the percentage of that surcharge is to that location. I'll print that out along with the check, and then I'll put it in a nice envelope, and then I'll try to hand deliver it to that location owner and explain to them, Here is the profits for you. Thank them again for allowing us to be there, all that good stuff. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that subscribe button for me. Hit that bell notification. I could definitely use a couple more subscribers on my list. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you like the videos, please hit that like button. Now, like I mentioned, with the ATM business, there's not a ton of expenses that you have to account for, but unfortunately, profit sharing is something that goes with the business. Try your hardest to avoid paying them anything, but when they want something, don't seem surprised. I hope you guys have the best day. Try and stay warm. I know I will. Probably won't be going outside much more. It is still 30, 32 degrees, I guess, which is a little too cold for us Texans. Enjoy the day, but keep grinding every day just like it's Monday. Until next time, guys. Later.